Okay. So let's talk about all the updates in immigration right now. So let me talk about some real stuff that we're seeing. I'm talking about a case that we have right now where a client hired us to file a lawsuit because he had his interview and USCIS was taking a long time to issue a decision. So we handle those cases where your case is delayed. You've had an interview, or maybe you haven't had an interview, but you've had a case pending for a long time. And we sue USCIS so they can make a decision. They can touch the case. So this client hired us, marriage-based green card, young couple, and we filed a lawsuit in Minnesota. After we filed a lawsuit, USCIS picked up the case because that's what a lawsuit is going to do. It's going to force USCIS to pick up your file out of the millions and millions and millions of files, right? So the client had moved to a different state and USCIS was like, oh, we need to confirm where the client lives. So once we filed the lawsuit, they opened up a field investigation and they pulled up at the house in Minnesota. When they got to the house, there was no one there because my client and my two clients had kind of been going through a little bit of rough times. One of them had moved to a different state for school and the other one had moved in with the mother. So when they arrived at the apartment that's listed on the application, it was empty. So USCIS started doing some more digging. They were like, and why does your husband have a car registered with someone else as the co-owner? Why is your husband's emergency contact not your information at his job? All these things. And so they issued a NOID, a notice of intent to deny. What I'm finding in this administration is when you file a lawsuit, which you absolutely have a right to do, they're like using it as an opportunity to like retaliate. And it's really trash because that's not how the law works, right? A mandamus lawsuit is at your disposal. It's a recourse if the government is taking too long. So the client received a notice of intent to deny. And in reading the notice of intent to deny, and I'm just kind of like, you guys are just like reaching conclusions. So what? They don't live at the same address that they have listed in the application that they filed. They've moved. Life is happening. Things are changing. And also one thing that, and they, when you don't have an attorney or you don't have an experienced attorney or, your case isn't properly filed, USCIS will try to throw a different standard on adjudicating marriage-based green cards. Guys, remember, it's not what your marriage ended up to be like. The law says it is the intent to have a life together when you entered into the marriage. So you could have had the intent to have a life. Everything was good. It wasn't just for immigration. There was no fraud. And then a few years down the line, things maybe got a little rocky, and that's okay. As long as you're not divorced, you still have a path to a green card.